Ram's CEO just walked onto that stage and confirmed it. A brand new diesel engine is coming in 2027, and the truck world is paying attention. While every other headline is pushing batteries, hybrids, and downsized turbocharged gas engines, Ram is doing something that a lot of truck owners never expected. They are doubling down on diesel, not tweaking it, not quietly phasing it out, doubling down. And for the millions of Americans who haul, tow, and work with their trucks every single day, that decision feels like somebody finally heard them. This is not a carryover engine with updated calibration. It is not a foreign-sourced motor wearing an American badge. Ram leadership has been direct about what this engine is. It is the most technically advanced diesel powertrain the brand has ever produced. Built from the ground up with 3 priorities locked in from day one: modern emissions compliance, real-world towing performance, and long-term durability that owners can actually rely on. Engineers, fleet analysts, and powertrain specialists are already calling this a potential turning point for diesel in the North American truck market. And if Ram delivers on what it is promising, every competitor that quietly walked away from diesel might find themselves scrambling to reverse course. To understand why this announcement carries so much weight, you have to look at what has been happening across the industry. Ford dropped the Power Stroke diesel from the F-150 lineup. GM never made a serious push with diesel in its half-ton Silverado. Even smaller mid-sized trucks have been abandoning oil burners in favor of turbocharged gas options and hybrid drivetrains. The retreat from diesel has been steady across the board. But Ram has been watching the data, and what that data shows is something the rest of the industry seems willing to ignore. According to Ram's executive team, diesel buyers are some of the most loyal customers in the entire portfolio. These are truck owners who regularly tow heavy loads, who hold onto their vehicles well past 200,000 miles, and who measure a powertrain by torque output, fuel efficiency under load, and how long it lasts. Not by 0 to 60 times or the size of the infotainment screen. A powertrain consultant who has worked across multiple manufacturers put it plainly. Diesel customers do not churn. They do not trade up every few years. Once you lose them, they are gone for good. Ram does not want to lose them, and so they started over completely. One of the most significant details from this announcement is that the 2027 diesel is not a revised eco-diesel. The 3-liter V6 that appeared across several Stellantis vehicles carried real reliability baggage, and Ram is fully aware of that history. The new engine was designed clean sheet with 3 commitments that could not be compromised. Emissions compliance that does not sacrifice long-term reliability. Lower mechanical complexity than any previous diesel in the lineup, and real-world durability that holds up on actual job sites, not just in a controlled laboratory setting. Engineers close to the project say the core mistake of previous diesel programs was layering emissions hardware onto an engine architecture never designed to handle the heat, soot load, and oil contamination that builds up in modern aftertreatment systems over time. The 2027 engine reportedly features a simplified aftertreatment layout, a revised EGR flow strategy, reduced thermal stress on critical components, and a redesigned oiling system built around extended service life. One emissions engineer familiar with the program described it this way: they built the engine around the emissions system this time, instead of bolting emissions hardware onto the engine afterward. That single shift in philosophy changes everything about how the powertrain ages. On the performance side, Ram has made clear this diesel is not chasing horsepower numbers. The focus is low RPM torque, consistent output under sustained load, and stability through long towing sessions. Internal targets reportedly place torque figures at levels that rival current turbocharged gas engines, but delivered at significantly lower engine speeds. That difference matters more than most people realize. Less heat builds up during extended pulls. Transmission strain drops. Fuel economy under load improves. And the engine lasts longer because it is not being pushed to the edge of its operating range just to maintain highway speed with a trailer attached. A drivetrain specialist noted that a turbocharged V6 can post impressive torque numbers, but sustaining that output for hours on a mountain grade is a completely different challenge. That is where diesel still holds a clear advantage. The engineering philosophy goes deeper than output numbers. Ram says this engine was tested against conditions real truck owners actually face: long idle times in fleet environments, heavy payloads in desert heat, cold starts in northern winters without a block heater, high-altitude towing where thin air punishes both engines and transmissions. A fleet maintenance professional who reviewed early durability data described the testing approach as refreshingly old school. They are stress testing failure modes most manufacturers stopped worrying about years ago. That is exactly how you build an engine that owners can depend on for the long haul. Fuel economy figures will not be official until closer to launch, but Ram has stated that real-world efficiency during towing was a core design target from the beginning. Diesel critics often point to higher pump prices, but long-haul operators and serious towers know how the real math works. If you can pull 8,000 pounds and watch the fuel gauge hold steady across 200 miles, the price per gallon becomes secondary to the value you are getting. Ram is betting that a large segment of the American truck market still thinks that way. Transmission integration was also rethought entirely. Previous diesel setups often adapted existing gearboxes that were not originally built with diesel torque curves in mind. This 2027 powertrain was developed as a unified system. Engineers focused on smooth, low-speed engagement, reduced gear hunting while towing, stronger engine braking behavior, and better thermal management for transmission fluid during extended use. The result is a diesel that drives cleanly in everyday traffic without giving up any of its work truck capability. Ram has also been unusually transparent about past failures. Reliability improvements include revised bearing materials, lower peak cylinder pressures, conservative boost targets to protect long-term hardware, improved oil filtration and cooling, and extended service intervals based on real wear data rather than assumptions. An independent engine specialist who reviewed prototype components noted something that stood out. Margin is built into every critical area. That is expensive to engineer, but it is how you avoid recalls and keep customers coming back for life. As for where the engine will appear, industry insiders expect the 2027 diesel in Ram 1,500 select configurations, Ram 2,500 light-duty models, and possibly a revived Ram Dakota midsize truck. Midsize diesel trucks have nearly vanished from the American market. If Ram brings real diesel torque to that segment, it could reshape the competitive picture overnight. The message aimed at Ford and GM is impossible to miss. Ram is saying clearly that not every American truck buyer wants a battery pack or a turbocharged 6 running hard just to move a load. Diesel is not dying. It is evolving. Construction fleets, towing professionals, and rural buyers across this country still depend on it. Ram's CEO did not announce this engine with empty slogans. The message was straightforward. This diesel was built because customers demanded it, engineers believed in it, and the market still needs it. For truck owners tired of fragile complexity and powertrains tuned for spreadsheets instead of work sites, the 2027 Ram diesel may be exactly what they have been waiting for. And if Ram delivers, the competition will not just be surprised, they will be playing catch-up for years.